I know in earlier videos you're all going to hear about the Rockfish Valley Foundation and the trails. So what I was going to talk about was how we got to the Natural History Center.
Great.
And Peter, when we had so many friends say, well, can we help you with the trail? And Peter owned this historic building. We decided to turn it into a Natural History Center. The original idea, which was brilliant on Peter's part, was that we would be a partner with the Museum of Natural History in Martinsville. We got to know them so well, and Joe Kuiper and all of his staff, they were fabulous. So the idea was to take their exhibit when they took it down, and we would get it.
I see.
Which was very exciting.
Yeah.
So the first exhibit was called Back to Nature. And that's when we got all of this exhibit with all the animals and everything. And they gave us cases of animal pelts, and actually they lent them to us and we bought them. But we had the coolest exhibit and everybody loved it. So the next exhibit was called Rocks to Racing. So it was geology and why the geology here makes such clean water for brewing things, and how there's a lot of moonshine. So we had a lot of moonshine in here. We had 3 physical stills and a big display of the stills.
Wow.
So boy, did the people turn out to see that. I mean, that was very exciting to have the stills and explain why the water made the moonshine so good. So as we went along doing that, the Museum of Natural History's next exhibit that we were involved in was dinosaurs. Well, I don't think dinosaurs could fit in here. So then we were on our own, that we had to dream up something. We had a short-term exhibit of diversity that they helped us do, but we decided to turn the Natural History Center into the geological, environmental, historical elements of the Rockfish Valley. Actually the South Fork of the Rockfish Valley. So we basically were on our own. I had a friend, Rochelle Aronson, who helped me put it all together, and we decided to put it into elements of water, rocks, plants, and animals, all of the Rockfish Valley. And then we put a children's trail that we're developing those same elements outside: rocks, plants, water, and animals. So our goal was to show what was here locally, why, if you know about it, and why, you then understand why it needs to be protected, particularly the water, because all water, wherever it's going, to the ocean or wherever, is starting at the headwaters of, in this area, the mountains. So she and I developed a great program, and as if you come and look around, if you come visit, the rocks are the geological history of Nelson County. We've had a lot of help with it over the years. We had JMU students came down and worked up the geological history of this area, and we've got all those graphs. And just recently we've had William and Mary students and their major geology professor come frequently with his students and give us even more depth. We also have done the water. We've taken the little creek back here and showed the watershed, where it started in the mountains, where Leaves goes by us until it gets to the James River, and then from the James River it goes to the Atlantic Ocean. And we've got each time. So there are lots of aha moments that we created. So as we've gone along, the Museum of Natural History in Martinsville has had a lot of state funding cut. They've had their staff cut. And so we've really been on our own doing what we are doing with a lot of research, a lot of help from people as we find them along the way. We found 2 major geologists who moved to the county who've helped us with the geology. So I think that we've created something special for everyone. You can come see it all, and have an aha moment over lots of different things, including the pollinations and the pollinators, and how all nature works together, all the weather cycles and different things.
Well, now, Betsy, can people come to visit now?
Right now, because of the coronavirus, we are closed.
Okay.
And once we feel that we are good to open, we will. The reason we are closed, part of the fun of coming here is it's hands-on.
Yes.
Particularly for children. We have a whole corner that's for children oriented. They can be 2 years old. They can play on our rug and count the number of animals on our rugs. They've got all the stuffed animals that they can act like they're, puppets and stuffed animals, plastic snakes, anything that makes them feel comfortable with nature, because that's when you start out. But we've also got a lot of hands-on for everyone else. We've got all the rocks, the limestone. You can look and see the different shells in it. We've got the information about Nelsonite. So there's so much hands-on. We've got this wonderful bear that everybody loves to have a picture with. So how in the world are we going to keep a child off this bear? So we decided that it was not worth the risk to open. But what is open is our children's nature trail. It's heavy. We brought in the cooking equipment for the mud kitchen, which is the most fun, but you can still play in the mud kitchen or bring your own pot. We have learned through this, Bruce, that nature has been our savior during this. We have really seen the increase of people outside in nature. It's what is good for your health, it's what's good for your soul.
Yes.
And we've realized there's so many more things that we can do now for the Natural History Center, because we've seen the importance of it when we don't have anything else.
So, Betsy, you are very interested in Earth Day, which is one of the events that we had to cancel. So,
we were going to have so much fun on Earth Day, I cannot tell you. We were going to have this huge bubble machine to tell everyone, don't do balloons now.
Right.
Do bubbles.
Do bubbles.
Do bubbles.
Excellent.
Balloons are bad for the environment.
Why are balloons bad for the environment?
Because they get caught up in the wires, they get caught in farm equipment, they go off to nowhere, they fall in the ocean, rivers.
Plastic pollution.
Plastic pollution, but also choking for animals.
Absolutely.
And not just sea animals, farm animals and stuff, because they don't know that it's a balloon.
Wow. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Bubbles instead of balloons.
Bubbles instead of balloons.
Excellent. We all know about reduce, reuse, and recycle. Do you want to expand on that?
Yes, because that was one of our goals of the festival. Everybody knows about recycling, and we have a wonderful recycling center down here at the community center, though we don't have glass, and we have to take that to Charlottesville. But there's so many more things. Rethink before you buy it. Do you really need it? Or at the grocery store, if it's all wrapped up in plastic and whatever, do you really need to buy that instead of something else? Repair it so you can use it again. Reuse it for another purpose. Reduce. Do we need everything we do? With the coronavirus, people have been cleaning out their houses. So reduce, refuse. If somebody tries to give you something that's going to be just don't take it. Refuse, recycle, recover, which means again kind of reuse, and regift, give it to somebody else. But one of the things that's not on here, and we should have, is something I love, which is rot. And rot, Bruce, means compost.
Of course.
So take it out and put it in your compost. So there's so many more ways to do all of that. So thank you. I'm going to show you these. What I loved about these recycling things was obviously paper, plastic, metal, glass, donation.
And donate.
Which means give it away. And again, we're so lucky to have the community center thrift shop. Take it down there. Or if the shed opens back up, we can put things in there. Or give it to a family that's not as lucky as you are. But think of giving things away as much as you think of glass and paper. And this is my last, we all had this growing up, a clothesline and clothespins. And you've never lived till you've slept on sheets that have been dried outside in the sun and in the wind. There are so many ways that we all grew up that you could go back to, and you would not have all of this extra stuff that you have to deal with. So the major thing we were trying to tell everybody on our Earth Day Festival were other ways besides the most obvious. And if you Google it, there are lists and lists and lists of things you can do. And we have lots and lots of handouts here of what you can do if y'all come see us when we get open again.
Yes.